Hey guys, Too Legit City here. Today we're going to be going over the new major update by Clay for Oxygen Not Included called the Sweet Dreams Update. If you guys already seen my previous video going over the changes when the patch was in the public testing branch, I have some bad news for you as not much has changed compared to what we went over in that video. But we do have some good news. They also released a roadmap post going over what we should expect in the future. Also, Clay released a new short today titled Sweet Dreams, so I advise to check that out. So, since I've already gone over the changes in the previous video, I'll try to keep this short. We have a new room type, the kitchen. The problem is that its only purpose is for the new spice grinder building to operate in. Honestly, I'd love for something like a cooking speed bonus as well, or instead, but this is what we got. The spice grinder allows you to add spices to already cooked food for plus 3 to 1 attribute depending on which spice you choose, or to slow down the food decay. I'm not actually sure how the food decay spice works as the math doesn't really add up. For the other spices though that does increase attributes, the buff will last 2 cycles once you've eaten the food. The Critter Fluxomatic is going to be one of 2 new story traits added to the game. After the initial quest of showing 5 different critter species, you can start to use the machine to morph the critter to a different variation of the same species. The scanner morph takes about 15 seconds, and after morphing a critter, there's a cooldown of 540 seconds before you could reuse it again. The Insomnium Synthesizer is going to be the second of the 2 story traits added in with the update. The initial quest requires you to wear the pajamas to sleep and generate something called dream journals to feel the synthesizer building. There is a dream animation with a progress bar when the duplicates are progressing towards the dream journals, and that bar carries from night to night. Dreams only occur when your dupes are wearing the pajamas and sleeping, and the pajamas are going to be located next to the building on a rack. Any dupe that is going to be dreaming has to dream for 300 seconds in order to complete 1 journal. After getting 25 journals and you deliver it to the synthesizer, you could turn on the building for a buff named Maximum Aptitude, which gives you plus 5 to athleticism, strength, science, piloting, and machinery, as well as minus 25% stress generated. The building only turns on once you feed it oxygen, and it consumes at a rate of 500 grams per second. This buff is going to be galaxy-wide, in rockets, and also on other planetoids. It initially lasts only 1500 seconds after completing the quest, but you could always add more journals, with each additional journal extending the buff by 60 seconds. There is an issue with newly printed dupes or defrosted friends that come into the game while the synthesizer is already on, where they do not receive the buff. You can actually just cut the oxygen feed to turn off the building, and then feed it back again by connecting the pipe to turn it back on. This will reapply the buff to everyone regardless of where they're at. Along with some other changes such as critter queues, the renaming of rockets, new slug morphs, and the addition of refined metals to the plug slug diet, they also revise how the plug slugs generate power, making it easy but also changing the thresholds. Happiness no longer affects the power value, only dictated by their hunger levels now. Plug slugs have a maximum kcal amount of 9,000. When tame, they used to provide 1600 watts of power when their kcals are at 90% of the max or higher, netting you 1200 when the range of the kcals is between 90 to 60%, 800 from 60 to 30%, and 400 watts of power in the 30% to 0% range. While starving, the plug slugs will give you 0 watts of power. Of course, with the new update though, that has changed. A new tamed plug slug now generates you 1600 watts of power when the kcals are above 50%, dropping down from 90. The next threshold range of 1200 watts is going to be between the 50% to 30% range, 800 watts in the 30 to 0 range, and now when the plug slug is starving, they actually generate 40 watts of power. Now for the roadmap of the upcoming content, and a quote from the developer Jared M on the roadmap post. We'll be releasing free ongoing updates several times a year. Actual timelines will vary as we settle into a rhythm. Currently, the plan is for them to be seasonal. You can look forward to fresh new content that will keep your duplicates on their non-existent toes, like the story traits mentioned below, as well as bug fixes and performance and quality of life improvements. There'll be something for both base game players and spaced out DLC players in every update. One of the big new additions is the story trait system. It's an interactive POI take on world traits with the unique gameplay challenges that unlock new lore and offer ongoing benefits once completed. They're designed to build out the Oni universe and create new ways to interact with the existing gameplay loops. It seems like Clay's goal is world building while adding in more content. Although it could be just an excuse to start playing around with new mechanics, it also could be Clay trying to develop some background lore for the OD universe. Either way, I do appreciate the new content, especially since it'll all be free. Further along in the post, they talk about story traits and allude to being more in the future updates, along with some quality of life improvements that they will have in mind. They also talk about some of the other areas they want to expand upon, such as more starting biomes, richer world gen options, and new sim systems. I would imagine a sim system is something like how Spaced Out DLC introduced the radiation mechanic, but I could be wrong. They also talked about a new skin system, similar to the skin system that they have in Don't Starve Together. Some room types were also thrown around, such as the laboratory and mission control room, as well as better bedroom options. Additionally, they're looking to expand on something called surface gameplay, which I think translates to the surface of a planetoid, otherwise meaning the interaction from the surface to space. Honestly, your guess is going to be as good as mine on what these new rooms and content will be utilized for. So leave a comment down below what ideas you would have or would like to see. And that has been the Sweep Dreams overview and the newly released roadmap for Oxygen Not Included. Links to the update and the roadmap will be posted in the video description below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And of course, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, guys.